Welcome back to this glorified closet I call a studio. Today, the sky is blue, the birds are chirping, and I'm staring at my old report card, realizing a painful truth. My stupidity is infinite, but my teacher's patience was definitely not. Have you ever wondered why, even though we're all made of the same carbon and oxygen junk, some people's brains contain the secrets of the universe, while my brain is just 90% what's for lunch and how to get a girlfriend with $0? Have you ever felt like you were born on the wrong planet? Like when solving for X gives you so much emotional damage you need to be put on life support? Well, relax, because after researching the biggest geniuses in history, I realized they were kind of messy too. Today, join me, Barely Explained, as we honor the greatest brains in history. The people who, if they were born today, would definitely get banned for using aimbots. So, what is a genius? The textbook definition is someone with exceptional ability, like that one guy who hard carries your team in League of Legends while you're feeding in the jungle. They might be OP at physics, chemistry, music, or just really good at gambling. On the internet, we have a lot of fake geniuses, the TikTok experts. But today, we're ignoring them. I'm bringing you the real monsters. Albert Einstein. Let's start with Uncle Einstein. This guy is so famous that random quotes on the internet get slapped with his name just to sound smart. Like, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet, Albert Einstein, 1998. But for real, he's the final boss of modern physics. Legend has it he was a late talker, didn't speak until he was 3. If that happened today, helicopter parents would be dragging him to every doctor in the country. But Einstein was just playing the long game. Instead of putting skill points into socializing, he dumped everything into intelligence. He dropped out of school at 15 because his teachers were NPCs who couldn't answer his questions like, why does 1 + 1 = 2 and not 11? At 16, he applied to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic and got rejected hard. Yes, a genius got rejected from college. Feel better about yourself? He failed history and French because he was a total math nerd. But he eventually got in, graduated, and bam, theory of relativity. E = mc². It was so mind-blowing that explaining it to people back then was like showing an iPhone 15 to a caveman. Then, a certain painter with a funny mustache took over Germany. Einstein was Jewish, and the mustache guy, well, let's just say he wanted to delete everyone like him. Einstein noped out to America. There, he realized the bad guys were making a big boom-boom bomb. He wrote to the US president, "Yo, they're making spicy rocks. We gotta move fast." Enter the Manhattan Project. The US created Little Boy and Fat Man, dropped them on Japan, and yeah, it was bad. Like server wipe bad. Einstein didn't build it, but he definitely pressed the start button on the idea. Isaac Newton. Next up, Isaac Newton, the CEO of physics, the reason high school is a nightmare. We all know the apple story, but I always wonder, why an apple? Why not a cinder block? If it was a cinder block, gravity would have been discovered in the afterlife, and we wouldn't have to study calculus. Newton had an IQ of 200, but his financial IQ was negative. He invested in the South Sea bubble and lost 20,000 pounds. That's millions today. Imagine the smartest man alive getting rug pulled like a crypto bro buying Dogecoin at the peak. He famously said, "I can calculate the motions of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people." Basically, he got scammed. Also, fun fact, Newton died a virgin. No wife, no kids, no girlfriend. He grinded physics 24/7. Maximum respect to the ultimate wizard. Leonardo da Vinci, the original gig economy worker. Painter, sculptor, architect, musician, engineer. He was basically hacking life. He painted the Mona Lisa, but to get that smile right, he dissected heaps of dead bodies. Imagine digging up graves at midnight for art. That's pretty hardcore. He also had a weird sleep schedule called the Uberman cycle. 15 minutes of sleep every 4 hours. I tried that once. I lasted half a day before walking into a wall. Conclusion? Don't try this at home. He also got canceled for some drama involving young men, but because there were no security cameras back then, he got away with it.
Bye-bye.
High stats, weird quirks. Mozart, child prodigy or the first victim of a momager? He was composing at 4 and touring Europe at 6. His dad was basically running a traveling circus. No Fortnite, no TikTok, just piano. Because of this, by 14, he could write entire symphonies in his head, no backspace key needed. But despite being a musical god, he was broke. The aristocracy treated him like a human jukebox. He later taught Beethoven, but Beethoven only learned how to be angry, not how to make money. Marie Curie. Let's balance the gender ratio. Marie Curie, the girl boss of chemistry. Only woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes. She discovered radiation. Back then, people didn't know it was dangerous, so she was basically carrying glowing rocks in her pocket like, ooh, shiny. Her life was tragic. Her husband died young. She got roasted by the media for dating her husband's student. Drama is timeless, and she eventually died from the radiation she studied. Her notebook is still so radioactive that if you want to read it, you have to sign a death waiver. Science is metal. Galileo and Darwin. Galileo, the troll of astronomy. Everyone said Earth was the center of the universe. He looked through a telescope and said, "Ratioed, you're wrong. We orbit the sun." The church threatened to turn him into barbecue, so he said, okay, I was joking. But as he walked away, he muttered, "It still moves, though." Absolute legend. Then there's Darwin, the father of evolution. As a kid, he was a rich trust fund baby. He went on a gap-year trip, looked at some turtles and birds, and realized, wait a minute, I think my grandpa was a monkey. Evolution theory shook the world, but his personal life, Alabama style, he married his first cousin. The result, his kids were constantly sick. Bad genes, folks. Lesson learned, don't date your cousin. It's illegal and gross. Shakespeare, the drama king. His plays had more murder and cheating than a Netflix reality show. He was also rich, owned land, made bank. He knew how to monetize his content. Louis Pasteur, the clean freak. He told doctors, hey, maybe wash your hands before surgery. Before him, doctors would wipe blood on their coats like a badge of honor. Gross. And finally, the final boss, Nikola Tesla, the electric wizard, a man from the future. He gave us AC electricity, but his life was cursed because of Thomas Edison. Edison was a corporate villain who electrocuted an elephant just to prove a point. Tesla was eccentric. He had OCD, was obsessed with the number 3, and fell in love with a pigeon. Yes, a bird. He died poor and alone in a hotel room. A brain that was centuries ahead of us, crushed by capitalism. Massive F in the chat. So, history is basically just one big reality TV show, from the guy who loved a pigeon to the guy who married his first cousin. They were geniuses, but their lives were full of glitches and fails. What's the lesson here? Don't be sad if you feel like a weirdo or a failure. Maybe you're just a genius ahead of your time. Or maybe you just suck. Just kidding. This video is longer than a CVS receipt, so I'll stop here. If you liked it, smash that like button and subscribe so I can afford instant ramen. There are more geniuses to cover, so if this video blows up, I'll make part 2. Until then, wash your hands like Pasteur, and please, don't fall in love with a pigeon. Bye.